Hello everyone, this is ISHWARYA Ramanathan IAS. In this video, I'll be discussing about the prelim strategy, last 30 days, what we should do and we should not do. So I have given my prelims two times, and two times also I felt it to be very, very difficult, and the preparation period was extremely stressful and nerve-wracking. Even if I remember it now, it is like very, very stressful and painful. So in the last 30 days, these are very, very crucial for any aspirant, and the way we approach these last 30 days is very, very important because be it a year of preparation or 2 years, 3 years of preparation, these last 30 days should focus and channel it everything in one direction so as to get our results in a very positive way. So I'll be sharing my strategy of what I did in the last 30 days and what I believe that aspirants should be following and avoiding. So I'll discuss about the do's and don'ts in this video. So let's start the video with the presentation. Okay. So first thing when it comes to the last 30 days strategy would be your revision. So we'll discuss about this in detail. And the second thing would be reading. So many aspirants have been asking this doubt to me, like what do we read in the last 30 days? What about the portions which I have left out? When should I complete it and all that? So the last thing would be practice. I'll tell you what we have to practice and how we have to practice. So moving on, what to revise? The first thing would be our static portions, which we tend to forget. Example, polity and history. So polity is like every chapters are very, very so much of factual information is there in polity, and we tend to forget it if we don't read. And there are also numbers like ordinance and 6 weeks and all those numbers we have to remember. So what I used to do is that every morning I wake up and I spend the 2 hours, 3 hours for polity portions alone. So first 3 hours, like morning 6 to 9, I will study for polity, 3 chapters or one chapter like parliament, covering a big chapter like that. Like that, in this 30 days, every morning I used to study only the static portions. That is from morning 5 to 8. These 3 hours I would focus completely on static portions only, mainly polity and history, and sometimes I would combine geography with another subject. So this is how I revise my static portions. So mainly, yeah, as I told you before, it's polity, history and geography. Mostly all the facts you just need to remember, revise it quicker and quicker. So economy notes, and sometimes you can also revise your this is maps and important places. I'm not talking about in the early morning. It's like you can also revise your maps and important places which you have already memorized. All these you have to revise it in your last 30 days so that you will remember when it comes on the question paper. So maps and all those is like once we would have studied, and we should definitely study it back in the last 30 days. Otherwise, we won't recollect it. So these are very, very important, and other static portions also. And current affairs material. I used to study the Vision IAS PT 365 material. There are also many other current monthly current affairs magazines in the market, like Insights, Current Affairs magazine, Civil Study, and lot of that. So whatever you've been studying for the past 4 months or 5 months of your preparation, that material you keep on revising. Whatever you have highlighted, whatever you feel is important, revise those materials. I mean the materials which you have completed before. And I'm how to revise. So in your revision, you should be very quick. You should not spend so much time like how you used to study at the first time. At the first time, I will study Parliament chapter for 2 days, 3 days because I have to memorize that all that. While I'm going to revise, I should not spend that much time in the Parliament chapter. I should make it quick. Like I should complete the entire chapter in 3 hours, 4 hours, or maximum 5 hours. So your revision should be very, very quick because those are topics which you have already studied and which you will remember in your exam. And only thing is you will revise it so that it will be easy to recollect, and you will gain that confidence that you have completed a substantiate amount of portion. So revision should always be quick. and cover the already memorized chapters fully. Like you would have studied the chapter previously, like revolutionary terrorist or pre-congress movements and all, so that you have to revise it again before the exams. These are the ones which you have already read and memorized previously. And this is how I used to revise the static subjects, like allotting block days. So 3 days or 4 days entire polity I have to revise, like morning 2 chapters, afternoon 3 chapters, 5 chapters per day, 10 chapters, like that. So 3 or 4 days the entire Indian polity which you've been preparing for this entire year, you have to be able to complete it fast. Then 3 days for history alone and art and culture, 2 days geography and economy. So if you feel like it is too much for you, you can combine any other subject with these block days and you can complete a substantial amount of portion. But never spend more time in one subject alone, like 7 days for history, 7 days for economics and all. So you will run out of time. So try to finish in a minimum amount of time. Set a short deadline so that you will rush, you will put your hard work and you will finish the work earlier. So revising means no need to memorize, as I told you before. You just go through it once or twice the chapter. So you have seen it. So the things which you have memorized already, you have seen it once, and now you're confident that you'll be able to recollect it. So this is revision. Just go through once or twice. And yeah, this one. Never spend too much time revising only starting. Don't keep your polity books and spectrum books like from 2 days, 4 days, 5 days. Like don't keep on dragging this for more days, 10 days, 15 days and all. You have to move to your current affairs also. So you just quickly revise your static. So this is like a very abstract model of what would be a good plan of revision. So in the last 30 days, first 10 days, I used to allot it for static. The remaining 15 days, I used to take my PT 365, other materials, government schemes from Shankaray's Academy. So all those materials I used to take, I used to revise it in a 2 weeks of time at least. And then the last 5 days, I used to give it for some value added material, like in the last minute, memorizing the tiger reserves, memorizing important glaciers near the lakes, and all these. So this I would give the last 5 days. So this is how we have to divide our days. You can plan it as per your level of completion of portions. So I'm just giving that this should be the proportion, and you should give subsequently more importance to current affairs than static, because static you have already read and somehow you will remember it, recollect it in exam. So this 10 days of revising static is only for a confidence and also to immediately and quickly recollect things. So and also test series is very important. At least 10 to 15 tests you should be giving. I used to give test every 3 days later and checking all those. So if you give test series, you will be very confident when you go to exam hall. So we'll discuss about test series in shortly. So reading, in my first slide, I have given you revision, reading, and practice. So what to read? So reading in the sense here, I'm talking about memorizing, like properly sitting and spending 5 hours, 6 hours trying to understand the subject. So what you should be reading here is any important current affair portions which you have not touched. For example, many aspirants would study their economy, current affairs material, economy and polity and all that. They would have left science and technology material out or environment material out. But those are the important things from where a lot of current affairs would come, be it environment PT or science and technology. A lot of current affairs used to come from that. So you have to study that one. So at this time, you can take that magazine and you can finish it in 3 or 4 days. That you can read, because there is going to be more probability of questions coming from that. Yeah, as I've given example, you can study the economic survey highlights fast. You can take a highlight of 3 4 pages and you can quickly study it, because there might be 1 or 2 questions coming out from economic survey, or the options will somehow reflect economic survey's content. And then science and technology, environment, government schemes compilation. previous month's current affairs. So the thing which happens with all of us is that we would have completed the entire current affairs till the month of December or January, February at the most, but we would have left the last 3 months current affairs prior to the exam, like September current affairs, October current affairs, and all. So that you can sit and study. And mostly there is a talk that they won't take 1 month current affairs prior to the exam and all, but still, to be on the safer side, you can just read it quickly. And the second, lastly, it would be you have to read your solutions of full portion test and current affairs test. The test which you have taken, you would have thought a lot while taking the test and all. So you have to remember and understand what is the correct answer. So this will be very helpful. If you don't read the solution, and if there is a similar question in the real UPSC question paper, you will feel a lot of regret of not reading the solutions. So you have to read the solutions of those tests which you have taken, and short notes on most aspirations. This is like, as I previously told, the map questions or the tiger reserves question, glaciers reports, whatever notes you have maintained on this, you have to read. Example, GI list, the geographical indication tag, the new GI tags for or the new products that you have to memorize. Then IUCN species, which are in newspaper. Then tiger reserves, something or the other will come based upon these questions. Like if you've seen the previous question papers, most of the questions are on these lines: the major lakes and river bodies, the glaciers there, and the area over there. So these are important. These you have to read it in the last 30 days. And reports also, ones which are in the newspaper, or you can take any material and read the reports. And what not to read, this is very very important, so that we don't waste our time spending on things which are not that important or relevant. So it could be any completely new portion in static. So this happens because nobody can complete a static portion 100%. There is always going to be something or the other chapter which we are going to leave out. Mostly in during my preparation in Spectrum book, I used to leave out the chapters beyond 1947, beyond India's independence. Those chapters I used to leave out, and in the initial first 3-4 chapters I used to leave out. So those all you don't have to sit and memorize like how you do for the important chapters. Just glance through it, just read it once, that is important and that is enough. Don't sit and memorize any completely new portion in static subjects, be it polity, history or geography. And reading superfluous sources, like which are not needed. They are important obviously, but they are not needed right now. Example, reading entire economic survey. So economic survey document must be of 100-150 pages and all. You don't have to sit and read the entire economic survey or budget document just to feel that I have completed economic survey or budget. What you have to do is that you have to take only the highlights, which many academies have compiled it and kept it online. So that alone you have to read. Don't never read the full documents. And time consuming NCRT revision. So there are a few people who completely skip off NCRT. At the same time, there are a few people who are like, I want to completely finish my NCRT and starting to read it from the first till the back. I was like doing like that. I used to take one NCRT book and stay from morning till evening. But later, while studying itself, I was kind of realizing that it's taking a lot of time. It's not that useful. I'm wasting time and all. So what you have to do is that you have to revise it very fast, and you should not completely avoid NCRT also, because there are going to be some understanding based questions coming out of your NCRT. So if you have previously read your NCRTs thoroughly, take your NCRTs back and revise it fast as quickly as you can. Then yeah, no new source books which we haven't read before. Like I strictly followed only Spectrum, a brief history of India or Spectrum book for history. I have never read Bipin Chandra's book completely at all. Like I've just read abstracts here and there, but I've never read that book. So just that if people near you, other aspirants are saying that they have completed Bipin Chandra and that the book has a lot of important facts, you are in your last 30 days of preparation and you feel that I should also complete that book. No, don't touch that book. Maximum one question might come out of that book. So you don't want to waste your entire time studying for one question. So definitely never touch any new source books. Only stick to what you have already read and revise only those. And if it is very important, try to complete it alongside with other major portions. If you feel like the portions which you have not memorized or what you have left out is like very very important and questions may come out of it. Like example, in polity, as constitutional bodies and non-constitutional bodies, I often used to leave that chapter out because I didn't I used to read only the important chapters in the front and I used to leave that out. So during my exam times I used to take the chapter because some question may come from that, because the topic is very important. So I used to sit and read it mostly in the last 30 days only. So I used to read it quickly. So if that is there are any important questions, try to club it along with your other main subjects. So practice. What we should be practicing during the last 30 days should be test series. This is very, very important. I have seen few of my friends attending prelims exam without writing any test series. That would put you in a very, very difficult spot because it will be completely new to you. You wouldn't have practiced stress management in that 2 hours. You wouldn't have practiced attending questions. You wouldn't have practiced completing the paper on time. So attending test series is very, very important. And you have to attend the test series in an exam like condition, meaning you have to give only 2 hours. You have to start from 10 to 12 o'clock, and you have to start from 2 to 4 o'clock for your CSAT exam and all. So this is very important. You have to do it in an exam like condition. And since this is the last 30 days, you have to attend at least 10 full portion tests. Somehow you have to complete at least 10 full portion tests, because it would give you some sort of comfortableness with the type of the question paper and some confidence for you to go and write your original prelims exams. And this would also give you scope for practicing different strategies, like attending 95 questions, is it giving you good mark, or attending 85 questions, is it giving you good mark. All these you can figure out only if you're giving sufficient number of tests. Since it's the last 30 days and you can't put 30-40 tests, there may be few aspirants who are doing that, but still it is their strategy. What I'm saying, the bare minimum is at least 10 full portion tests you should be giving. And once you have given a particular test, you have to read the solutions of that test, and you have to try and formulate your strategy during these 10 full portion test itself. You have to read the solutions and you have to try and formulate your own strategy. And more last but not the least, you have to practice CSAT question papers no matter what. At least 5 question papers you have to solve CSAT, because CSAT is becoming more tougher and tougher in these years, and you have to definitely practice CSAT question papers, and preferably take the UPSC question papers of the last 3 years and club it up with another 2 or 3 question papers from other institutes. And yes, you have to revise the solutions 1 week prior to exam. So October 10th is exam. So 1 week prior to exam, starting from 2 or 3, you should be very, very careful, and you should not plan any massive portions in that. You have to just revise. In that last 1 week, your mind should be very focused, very calm and clear. So don't plan any massive portions like you're going to complete half of polity or half of history in that last 1 week. Don't do that. You just have to revise in that 1 week exam, and you have to tone down the pace. So in the first 20 days or something, we would be studying like 10 hours, 12 hours, like round the clock without rest and all that. So 1 week prior to the exam, you have to tone down the pace. You have to bring down the pace. You take enough rest and take a proper sleep, and then you study, because it's very, very important to be stable during your exam. And maintain a normal sleeping schedule. Yeah, this is very important, because we are going to give our exam at 10 to 12 slot and 2 to 4 slot. At that time, you have to be sober, because if you're sleeping and waking at abnormal time, like sleeping at 4 in the morning and waking up at 11 in the morning, it would be very difficult for your mind to suddenly adjust to a new schedule. So you, at least in that 1 week, you maintain a normal sleeping schedule where you are active and energetic in the morning. and this is very very important. You should maintain your body in utmost health, because imagine if I'm attending my exam in a fever, I won't be able to concentrate on the questions. I won't be able to think. My mind would be clouded, and my health won't be in a good status to think a lot, because it's going to be a lot of mental exercise for you in the exam hall. So it is very very important for you to maintain a good health. You should never fall ill. So right now the pandemic is also there. So aspirants, make sure to lock yourself up in your home and don't go outside. And if you're staying with your parents or staying with your friends, ask them also to be very careful when they go outside and come back, because you should never fall ill in during this period. You have to give your exam at your perfect health. And please avoid crowded places, like I've told previously. And you have to stay extremely cautious. And last but not the least, positive mindset. You have to maintain a positive mindset, because after all the preparation and all that, it's next it comes to mind game. In that 2 hours, UPSC wants people who are able to maintain their calmness and tackle their stress and attend the exam in a positive way. So you should be able to think of solutions in that 2 hours. So you have to maintain a positive vibe. And during preparation, you used to feel a lot of stressful breakdowns, like whether I would clear this exam. It's very difficult. So many people are appearing. All this would strike us at the last 30 days only. I also remembered. Consistently feeling very bad, like even right one day before exam, starting crying out at random times and all. So it happens to all the aspirants. Always try to stay positive at times like that. Always remember how hard you've been working throughout the entire year or more, and how consistent you have been with your preparation. And never ever listen to like negative people. So there will be few people, be it other aspirants or friends or family, anyone, saying that it's going to be very difficult, or there must be a rumor monger saying it will postpone and all that. All this, never ever listen to those people who are trying to say it's going to be very difficult this time. It's going to be, they are making it brutal and all that. Never ever listen to those. You always surround yourself with positive people who keep on encouraging you that you can do it, you can clear it. You just want one seat out of those 782 vacant positions. So you just need one seat. Like those who are encouraging you constantly. For me, my elder sister and my mother used to do that a lot to me. So whenever you're feeling down, just call those people and talk to them. And yeah, stay away from social media or interaction for long hours. Social media, in the sense, be it WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever social media, don't stay in that, because there must be something affecting your mind, and your mind is very, very fragile during these last 30 days. So, any small thing would trigger you and will make you sad or make you angry. So, don't do that. So, better stay away from the evil. So don't go near social media, or don't talk with somebody, anyone, for long hours. Like it may be a long lost friend, or it may be your relatives who are sharing their emotional burden with you and all that. Never give time for that. Just humbly and politely tell them that you're preparing for an examination, and that you have to study. So avoid all those things, and push your limits. So in these last 30 days, push your limits and give the best ever preparation which you have done, and preparation which is beyond the limits which you have already studied before. So in the last 30 days, you bring the best in you. And this is also very important, to have a focused mind. You have to meditate daily, and at least like 1 week prior to exam, sit for 10-15 minutes and focus on what you want from the exam, how you are going to approach the exam, and how you want your reaction to be after coming out from the exam. And always remember all those things, like you won't make silly mistakes. You will underline the important keywords of the question. So all these you remember while meditation. And calm your mind, like accept it that you have prepared it well, and you are going to give a very good performance in exam. Don't ever think about others, and don't ever feel bad about those portions which you have left. It is not a problem at all. So you just calm your mind, accept everything, and go give your exam happily. And eat healthy foods, foods which don't upset your stomach. So eat those very good foods for keep yourself hydrated. You have to be very healthy, and it should not affect your performance on your exam. And this is like 2 days, 3 days prior to exam. You go to the hall center and to confirm the location, because it's very important. Like there may be 2 or 3 schools with the similar names, and the address would be confusing. So either you or ask your parents or your friends to go there and confirm the exam hall and confirm, check everything properly, and keep all your necessary things ready, be it the hall ticket, your ID card, whatever it is, keep it necessary. And on the exam day, reach the hall center early, because in Chennai, when we used to write our mains exam, it was in the October or November only, and it used to rain very bad. It used to rain very bad, and there would be a lot of traffic, and waterlogging would be there, and many people found it difficult to reach the hall center on time. So you have to make sure you reach the hall properly on time. So go to the hall early. You wear comfortable clothes which you feel very comfortable with, so that the clothes are not a distraction for you. And you plan your meals properly, because you have to eat it in the morning and go and give an exam. Afternoon also you should have your lunch and then come back for CSAT. So plan your meals accordingly, and take spare watches and pens, just in case if one watch fails, you'll have another, because watches and pens are very, very important, and you need proper ballpoint pens. Just take spares if you want. And don't ever discuss with other candidates. This happens with everyone. And when I was about to attend exams also, like a lot of seniors were discussing, have you read this, have you read that, this is very important. I heard from someone that they are focusing mainly on this kind of topics and all that, and suddenly you will eavesdrop on them, and you will think that I haven't touched that at all, I haven't read that at all, and you will be panicking. So better don't discuss with other candidates what you have studied or what you feel important is. Don't ever discuss anything, because it would upset others, and others' opinion would upset yours. So don't discuss. And you don't read too much also. Don't take your entire polity, history, and all those books to exam hall and keep on revising. It will lead to a lot of stress, and you will feel that you haven't completed it, and you'll go to the exam hall in the same mentality. So don't do that. Don't read too much. Just takes that small things which you have already planned to revise, like very minute light topics which you plan to revise, that alone you take to hall. And take sweets or chocolates, because when I in my first attempt, when I went to the hall, after seeing the crowd and that vibe, complete exam vibe, I started shivering, and I felt like I'm about to faint. Thank God my mother had some chocolates with her. I didn't even think of bringing anything like that, so she had chocolate with her, and I had it, and only then I felt better. So this may happen to few people like who are going for the first time. So better take all the precautions. Trust me, you will do well. And just think of all the times you've been working hard. I used to think of the time when I used to wake up at 5:30, look in the mirror, look at the mirror, and think we are going through a lot of hard work and all, like a self appraisal and all. So you think of all those times when you feel you have pushed your limits, and remind yourselves that you deserve it more than anyone else. And trust me, you will get the good results. Thank you, friends.